Leila from Wall Street. David from CoMETA. Thank you guys for joining the panel. I would like you guys to start with the introduction of yourself and tell about your background and about your company. So starting from you, let's say.
Hello, yeah, it's fine. So my name is Justin Edwards. I'm the CEO of Verse Digital. Verse Digital is a creative development studio formed of a mixture of architects, 3D modelers, FA programmers, designers and producers. And we work with brands to build metaverse experiences. In terms of my background, I've been in the games industry for about 15 years, building virtual worlds. Started on an MMO called RuneScape, which is very popular. MMO back in the day on the browser. Worked in mobile free-to-play, such as African Life. More recently, I've been involved in Centraland, so I was their COO, before moving in to start my own company.
Hello everyone, so my name is Hugo. It's my first time in the UAE, so I'm more than happy to be here with you today. I'm 22 years old, half French, half Moroccan, and I'm Metaverse Manager for Exclusible. So basically we are helping brands and corporates to unlock the power of Web3. We got launched like 15 months ago. We are now approximately 50 in the company. And we have three main verticals. We help companies first, we help them with NFTs, creation of their project, and distribution and marketing. We made it for Bugatti, Christophe from Shadow Group, Piston Lacroix, and so on and so on. Then we have a second vertical which is linked to Metaverse. We are accompanying companies to launch their Metaverse experiences, and we do everything from A to Z. Concept, strategy, marketing, distribution, building, and we're completely agnostic, so we can build in any kind of metaverse depending on the objectives you have. And the last vertical we have at time is called Web3 CRM, which means that we are helping basically we want to build a suite of tools like HubSpot to allow companies to launch their own campaigns in Web3 and to make a big link with Web2 thanks to this. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Sonia, I guess.
Hey everyone, I'm Lina and I'm the Chief Metaverse Officer at Immersive State. We're a hyper-realistic metaverse and we implement play-to-earn games. And we also enable brands to create more enriching and professional working experiences to train their workforces and transition to the metaverse. And also our specialized in cities, how governments can leverage the metaverse to better engage with their citizens and as well better plan for smart cities. Aside from this, I'm also the founder of All-Stars Women DAO, which is an investment DAO and an initiative to help close the gender gap in the space. We provide everything from Web3 Academy, Startup Factory, and diversity recruitment agency to enable founders to have the platform and the resources necessary to make sure that their startups are a success and that they contribute to the global economy.
Thank you. That's why Leela is everywhere in Dubai.
Hi everyone, my name is David Lolay. I'm a founder of CoMETA company. So we have a long experience in the Web3, Web2 world since 2017, including blockchain and other kind of technologies. And we began as for something new. We found ourselves in Metaverse, and our main idea that we're launching Metaverses and creating the most beautiful spaces based on real objects. So our main idea right now is to take most beautiful event halls in the world and launch them in Metaverse. So people can have two ways to participate the different events all around the world in real place, for example, as we hear right now, but in a metaverse as well. And just for your pleasure, I wanted to share that on the right screen it is two QR codes which you can just scan and see the real metaverse created on Dubai Event Hall, placed here in the Business Bay. It's named like Richmond House. It's a place where people right now looking for some real event, and right now many guests looking for this live stream. So they participating our event from all over the world. And yeah, that's it. That's our main mission. We want to educate people. We want to make them more adopted by new technologies, new metaverse adoption, and yeah, it's big inspiration for us.
Thank you, guys. So, starting from you, Justin, as it's our main point of discussion is to meet the brands within the metaverse. So, what do you think? What are the benefits for all those brands who wants to come into the metaverse?
Yeah, so there's
Сейчас
I think
еще
there's
раз
a lot
надо
of
сканировать.
benefits of entering the metaverse. I can cover off a few, say some for you guys. So obviously the first one is obviously monetization. I think entering the metaverse offers brand new revenue streams for brands, particularly around, first of all, adding more utility to your NFT strategy. So, brings more awareness as you can have those within the metaverse for people to be aware about them, grow your community and user base in that respect. I think also in terms of revenue, digital wearables obviously, being able to sell your merchandise, get players engaged with some of your assets, and then obviously make a revenue stream from that. The big one I think is also brand awareness. So for instance, I think of an example that I've been involved in, which would have been something like the fashion show that we ran in Decentraland this year. We had brands from Dolce & Gabbana, Tommy Hilfiger, etc., maybe 50 brands. Some big brands like that, but there were also some, medium-sized brands. With that kind of PR strategy that we ran for those brands, and also their own marketing that they ran too. I think the end of that result was 4 billion in marketing activations. So it can also bring a lot of awareness about your brand, being part of some of the events that we run in the metaverse as well. I think, I can carry on. I think, like I said, there's so many different opportunities and benefits from entering the metaverse, and I think one of the things that we do at First Digital when we work with a brand is actually, first of all, sit down with them and actually understand what their goals are and what they're trying to achieve out of the metaverse, because that's really what tailors our design and creativity to fulfill in terms of benefits and reaching their goals. So.
Okay, well, so basically when we are discussing with brands, we try to understand their use cases. I think we're like, it's pretty much like at the beginning of the internet. I was not born, but my parents told me that it will be, like, we were not aware about what will happen with the internet at the end. I think we still don't know all the use cases that will happen in the future, obviously, but we identified approximately 5 use cases that are mainly, maybe they cover maybe something like 80% of the use cases right now for brands. You mentioned already some of them, obviously. I think that the first one is linked to community engagement. Either you have fans or VIPs or people who hold your NFTs. Thanks to the metaverse, you can innovate a bit in a way to interact with them and to make them have some feelings and emotions. The second one for me is, the immersive brand experiences, where the objective is to go hyper creative and make people have emotions. I remember that there is one guy, creative director at Tiffany & Co, who said that when he launched the Blue Box Cafe, the Fifth Avenue flagship of the company, he said that the goal was to entertain the community and the fans of the brand. I think it could be the same also in the metaverse. Another one for me is trying to reach and to educate new audiences. Obviously, when you discuss about Roblox, 50 million daily users, Zepeto, 20 million daily active users, it's kind of a captive audience of Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and it's a way to educate them to your products and to your solutions and to your brand, and they are your future clients, basically. And then about the last use cases, I think that there are the corporate ones and the professional ones. Finding new ways to work with colleagues all around the world, making trainings, recruitment, these kind of things. And obviously the last one is business. You mentioned it. You can obviously sell digital products or just digital ones or NFTs. Just one number, I think that Forever 21, the brand, they made an asset for Roblox, which is a crop top for ladies. They made it for 500 euros, and thanks to this, they sold for 500,000 in 1 year. So basically, even business can be really profitable in the metaverse. That's it.
Thank you, Andrew. I think brands are currently entering the metaverse for two main reasons. The first is to improve customer experience by creating more immersive and interactive experiences. The second is to generate revenue growth by setting up virtual shops, selling digital assets often tied to physical ones and a certain type of utility. For example, Nike has created a microverse called Nikeland, which has attracted more than 6.7 million people from 224 different countries. It's enabled its users to try on physical products and buy them as NFTs. People could also interact with celebrities such as LeBron James, who coached and engaged with its users, and then incentivize them by rewarding them for the time being spent on the platform. So the key is to really create meaningful experiences and incentivize the players and its users to kind of shift the relationship between brands and its users. It's not really about brands trying to sell a product to their consumers, it's more about brands having a partnership with their consumers and thus aligning their incentives over time. So these are the main benefits for me.
Thank you. That's a very good question, and we have a lot of opinions, yeah, and I'm happy to my own as the final here. So the first one, if we're speaking about the benefits, the main one from my own point of view for brands, that your brand can be here, there, and everywhere if you are in a metaverse. Because what we can have, if we will put some brand over there right now, so only here the 50 people will see what is the brand here and what it's about. If we put it to the Web 2 world, we can have it on a website for some targeted users. I guess all you understand how targeted ads work, because why the brands doing some implementations of metaverse to their companies? The main reason is only one, it is the sales. So they can improve their sales pressure. And Web 2 world was fantastic. Billions and billions and trillions of dollars spent every year for the advertising in the web. But in a metaverse, your brand can be shown from the other side. So for example, can we have the best in the world opera concert in a metaverse? We can. But there are no brand opera buildings we have in the world right now. So why don't, for example, Bugatti or Ferrari or any other biggest brand can build opera in a metaverse? And the same concert, people can have the real experience, but in a brand concert. It can be the branded place. And it is just one side, how it can be used. But the main benefit here that your brand can become unlimited artistic opportunities. So every brand can have a real unlimited opportunities to show themselves. And this is the new future. And I guess all the experience we have right now with the brands in a metaverse, like collaborations, are so young right now. We've never seen something crazy big or crazy amazing, and the best time in the future. And yeah, I'm happy that everyone here has a chance to see the first steps of the world in a metaverse experience as well.
Thank you guys. You mentioned a lot of positive and benefit things of the metaverse. But on the other side, what do you think, just from your side, what do you think, what are the limitations for these brands to come into the metaverse?
Yeah, I'd say the first one for me, the biggest one, well, there's two. One is tech and one is accessibility. On the tech side, I'd say, you know, the solutions for these are coming and they're coming fast. There's an awful lot of people working very hard to improve the tech that we're currently using on our metaverses. But I'm talking a little bit more about decentralized metaverses from my background in and our centralized metaverses. So in terms of tech, currently, obviously this is brand new tech. It's, you know, the very beginning for everybody involved in the metaverse. It's going to be evolving over the next 5 years into something a smoother experience, should we say, in terms of crash rates and stability of performance of running the virtual world. And so that kind of ties into the accessibility, and I think some of the previous speakers talked a little bit about this, but my experience from, you know, making games in the Web 2 world, one of the things that is very smooth is the user experience and what we call the tuning, which is the first time user experience. And I think for mass adoption on the Web 3 metaverses, we really need to nail that. And so people who come to the metaverses have a really smooth experience. And at the moment what we're doing is we're putting them in front of a crypto wallet, and a lot of these users don't really understand what a crypto wallet is, so they need to go and Google what a wallet is and then try and install it and go and buy some Ethereum or whatnot. So that actually causes a big reduction in users that can give up at that point. So improvements in the UI and the UX and the user experience for me is a must that we must fix as fast as we can.
Before you mentioned Google, but Justin, what do you think about the VR limitations? Because most people, when we talk about metaverse, we talk about VR also. But don't you think there are also limitations in using VR? Because if we create those logos, you get like dizzy after 15 to 20 minutes. So what are your views about it?
Well, yeah, that's true. I had the same problems with the VR headset. Using Central or Mental or whatever you're using. And again, technology is improving, and we've seen 10 years ago what the headsets were like and how far they've come. So, you know, I think this for the most kind of like the experience we want to see in the metaverse, it is some time away right now, and it's improving over time. But yeah, I still get nauseous from the headset. I still struggle a little bit with the accessibility and the UX in VR as well. But yeah, this one's coming along.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think about the limitations?
Well, I think obviously all the tech limitations are here, but I want to discuss a bit about the education of the teams. I believe that it's pretty difficult to understand what's the metaverse, how we can use it, what is good or not, which metaverse to choose. And well, I don't know if I should say that, but I'm sure you all heard about these innovation teams that wanted to be in the metaverse, so they just bought expensive plots on Sandbox, and then they realized that it's not even available right now. So I think we really need to educate our innovation teams. If we don't have the resources internally, we should find the right partners to do so. And for me, there is really an important choice about which metaverse to use that will suit my objectives and my use cases. There are so many metaverses available right now. At this Crucible, we made a benchmark of 140, and I'm sure we're already missing a lot of them. And so this is something really important. Which one suits my use case? And then who's the best partner to build in it? And there you can go. But there is a big, education is key. Education is key. So many people are doing bad things. So.
Yeah, Neela, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with what you said, and I think in order for the metaverse to be mass adopted and truly mainstream, the key is to making sure that it's user-friendly and especially interoperable. Users will need to be able to move their digital identity and digital assets swiftly and seamlessly from one platform to another. But in order to do that, as the metaverse market evolves, governments and companies need to make sure that significant investment is invested in making sure that there is the proper infrastructure to support all these metaverse worlds, which each has its own use case. Making sure that they're all interconnected, and as well making sure that people are aware of some of the risks that come with work, and making sure that they can use it in a safe manner.
So from my point of view, the main limitations for the brands at the moment, it is the lack of control first. Yeah, with all the problems mentioned before, the tech problems, it is the VR problems as well, because VR, from my point of view, it will be something like DVD. It was amazing for the first time, but DVD is nowhere right now, but many years ago it was like brilliant technology, guys. I guess it will transform into something new. It will be much easier, much comfortable, and much easier to adopt first. But the limitation made from my side, why many brands don't using it everywhere, because there are lack of control. They cannot understand what will happen, because we all live in simple rules. So we're there, we have panel discussion, and nobody's speaking. And nobody's saying bad words, sorry for that. But in the metaverse, if we all be there, you can tell whatever you want because you understand that it will be nothing for you. But it can harm the brand reputation as well. And I guess brands are so doing very small steps because nobody wants to have a mistake. And nobody wants to have one big mistake to become in headlines of the news with the fact that something happened in the metaverse with some brands. I guess it is.
You know, the time is running out. Guys, this is really hard, but I just need you guys to give, at least because most of the people are here from the Web 2.0 industry. So I want you guys to give at least one liner of advice to these Web 2.0 audience and how they can come up into this Web 3.0 and adopt these brands to come up into the metaverse.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said earlier as well. I'm a big fan of people actually getting involved and getting into these metaverses and trying them out for themselves. And I love the metaverse. It's so much fun to get involved with. I would get involved in, Sandbox, Decentraland, any metaverse that you come across, whether it be Fortnite or Roblox. Learn from the experience and enjoy it.
Well, I think that my tips is if you have to spend time on something, is really finding the right partner or and also the right metaverse that suits. I really have to say, I think that some people are just following what is working at time and what's best for PR, while you should focus on use case, I believe. Just a quick tips, when we are assessing a metaverse to see if it's good or not, we have only 4 criteria, which are accessibility, is even your mom can join the metaverse. Then is the user interface and the user experience smooth enough to make sure that everyone will enjoy. Obviously the quality of the graphics. It should not always be photorealistic, but just well done. Fortnite is not photorealistic, but it's well done. And the last one is the in-game features. What people can do, can they interact with the other ones? Can they have fun by some cool features or this kind of things? Can they share on social media when they are visiting at times? So I think that with these 4 criteria, you are able to understand if the metaverse is good or not.
For those of you looking to enter the metaverse and truly establish your presence in it, you should first start by strengthening your online presence and then making sure that you do a thorough research of the top metaverses and then choose the right one depending on your target audience, and truly ask yourselves before choosing which metaverse to enter, what is your purpose, what are you trying to achieve in the metaverse, And as well, what do your customers truly value, and what services are the most needed in specific types of metaverses?
So, in final, from my point of view, it is the user flow. So many metaverses, so many examples how to join, but everywhere you have many obstacles to try it because you don't understand, you're afraid something. It will be very easiest user flow. Just plug and play solution. Click somewhere and you should be inside. Because if you are experienced user, yeah, you can review the metaverse by graphic quality, by many other things, but if it's easy to join, there are billions of people on the world never tried something like that. If you can see the blockchain space, there are few 100 million people using that, but we have 7 billions on the world, 8 right now, billions people on the world. On a metaverse, only millions tried it right now. So, as I said, it should be very easiest way to the inside, as like in our Oracle Pro.
Thank you guys for sharing the panel with me.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming. Please have a good round of applause for them.
One, two, three. Okay, actually.